Okay, now we're to wholesalers, real estate wholesalers. First, we're going to go over what that is. Because I know as a contractor, I didn't even know that even existed. Wholesaling was a e-commerce dealership kind of term. I didn't know they had it in real estate. Who knew you could wholesale, bulk sale real estate other than high portfolios? And I thought that's what they meant. Oh, I'm wholesaling a deal. Oh, they must be moving a bulk amount of properties or selling a bulk amount of properties. This is not what that means. A wholesaler, I didn't learn until in the investor hat, in the investor life, that I finally dove into what a wholesaler is. And this really broke open the whole NAR and real estate agent world for me. Wholesalers provide services to the homeowners just like real estate agents do, but they do it in a different structure. And there's the key point right there. The different way and process they do it alleviates them from being hit with licensing requirements like the NAR does. How? First, a wholesaler is a real estate agent that actually puts his money where his mouth is. He puts the risk where he actually says he can provide a service for the homeowner. Which service is that? Selling the property. Now, the way they do this is that they actually purchase the property from you. They don't close on it, but they get you under contract. 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 Did you hear that? That power of the contract. Wholesalers were smart enough to come up and see what the NAR was doing, that they knew, hey, the power of real estate was in the contract. From that contract, gave them the power to purchase property without any capital even in their pocket. What? You're telling me I can go purchase $1 million property with no cash in my bank account? I am telling you, yes. Go ask any wholesaler, it's not a new thing. Wholesaling is the system that does this. The way they do that is they purchase the house with the purchase contract, they extend it out for 30 days, they have 30 days to now go resell that house. An agent, on the other hand, will come up to you, say, hey, I'm gonna work with you, and if I produce something, you're gonna give me this commission. A wholesaler does not do that. A wholesaler comes to a homeowner and says, hey, I'm gonna purchase your house right now. They purchase it, they put it under contract, they have 30 days to give them that funds. The key though is how the wholesaler handles that asset. A real estate agent will put it on their MLS system, get it all marketed, and it will just sit there. And if it doesn't sell in 30 days, oh well, I have a 6-month contract with my homeowner saying I'm gonna get paid commissions no matter when it sells. Obviously, they have to, for their best interest, get it sold. Otherwise, it's never gonna get sold and there's gonna be issues with the client and no one's gonna hire them again. On the wholesaler side, they're doing it up front. They're saying, hey, no, I'm putting everything on the line of me purchasing this property, and if I don't get it sold, I'm liable to actually purchase this property. And you get into purchase contracts and due diligence and an escrow, their money's on the line. They put 2% down for their escrow. Guess what? They're not getting that escrow back if they don't actually purchase the property or find someone to purchase the property. 30 days doesn't seem like a lot of time, but people who have the network, you'd think agents would already have that network, and the right numbers of the property, normally investors are the wholesalers' clients, they move those deals around on a monthly basis. They'll do it in a week basis, they'll do it in a 2-week basis. They may already have a buyer for you before you even tell them you're ready to sell. That's how good wholesalers are. I think they're 10 times better marketing than an MLS, NAR real estate agent. And that is my opinion. I haven't looked it up fact-wise to find any data, but it's my experience. So enough spiel about that. Again, it's my whole spiel of trying to wake people up to NAR and the real estate agent industry and society and culture we've built. But let's just look on the wholesalers' issues. A wholesaler doesn't have the same real estate agent issues. Similar, different. A wholesaler, it's highly on the numbers, so they are going to give you a less of a number, and they will tell you if they're good enough. They will tell you, hey, if you want a higher number for your property, take it to market, take it to the MLS, use a real estate agent. Don't use a real estate agent, save a few bucks, but you're gonna have to take it to that market. And unfortunately, for them to be successful in that market, they have to use the MLS. It dominates 95% of the marketing system right now. And with other marketing like Facebook hindering back ads on homes and stuff, which doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I understand it. They gotta put up a shield against the NAR and the mass of agents they have. As soon as they open that floodgate, it's a floodgate. It's not a thing that they can trickle in with a new industry like equity invoice contracts. It's a floodgate where every single agent's going to be in there, and whatever little loophole or little inch or crack in the system that they can exploit, it's going to get exploited one way or another, on purpose or not on purpose. So wholesalers have the issue of homeowners that don't want to sell because they know that the wholesaler is going to make way more money on their property than they're going to make. The wholesalers are providing an exit for those homeowners. That's the clientele that wholesalers are looking for. They're looking for motivated sellers. Who are motivated sellers? Sellers who can't afford their mortgage, sellers who are behind on things, sellers who can't afford renovations, sellers that are in a bind. All those sellers don't want to sell. That's why they still own, and they're still holding on to whatever they can, and they're trying to figure it out, and I feel for them. I was there. I've gone through my shit. I've had to figure it out. Luckily, I'm here and I'm paving the path for everyone else, not just in the current system, but hey, here's a new tool, a new bridge to bypass all that system that we have, all that pain I went through, all the pain that I see everyone else going through while I'm still trying to fix the pain on my side. So wholesalers, they're missing out on 90% of the homeowners they contact. Why? Because the homeowners don't want to sell to a wholesaler and the wholesaler make 10, 20K on whatever the property is. That's how they make their money. They don't make their money on commission or equity or a percentage. They make it on, hey, I'm going to secure you under contract. I'm going to purchase your house for 20K because I know I got a 40K buyer over there. Or if I don't got that 40K, I know I can sell it for 30K. You know what I mean? And that's the risk that he's taking, and it's why he is allowed to charge more than 6%. He may be providing the same service, but he's taking a hell of a lot more risk than a real estate agent. And he's still providing the same value, connecting a buyer and a seller, and still consulting and giving them insights and updating them on stuff, if done ethically, of course. That's what the NAR perceived value is, that they have a system and a model that's all ethically correct. I see straight through that bullshit, and a lot of other people have too, because they see that society and culture that they built. Not on purpose, I'm not blaming anyone, but it's there, and I've just been frustrated yelling out that it's been there, I can see it. Yeah, everyone wants to ignore it and avoid it. Thankfully, someone hasn't, and this year someone came forth with the commission lawsuits in certain states and whatnot, and the whole commission is getting restructured on real estate agents. Enough agents, wholesalers. Wholesalers, that's how they make their money. Now, what if they can still make that money on all the clients that they get no's from? All the homeowners that say, hey, I don't want to lose out on my property, contact me in 3 or 4 months, and if I still have it and I'm still in this bind, let's do it. They have plenty of those clients, 90%. Their conversion rate isn't very high. They're a number game. They got to get on the phone and they got to cold call, cold call, cold call, cold call. It's a rough industry to work. So I want to take, it's not going to be that full 90%, but hey, at least half of that 90% that they have, and give them a tool to not lose out on the value of those clients, whether they actually reproduce in another year or not. And with all those homeowners and those constraints, they don't have the money for the renovations. And wholesalers know this, and that's a lot of their value in the marketing pitch they give them is, hey, I'm going to get these renovations done for you, but I'm going to do them. And it's my risk and all this. This breaks for homeowners that get all the wholesaler calls. This breaks that mythology that wholesalers are trying to paint as a picture of you needing to use them. It's your only option. And also, it gives wholesalers an opportunity to serve all those homeowners and still make some money on it. Still get paid for the value that you're providing. A service. The same service that the real estate agent is providing. I don't block it off to where you have to be a real estate agent to be a wealth trading master license to connect homeowners and contractors. Again, wholesalers can do it. They're very knowledgeable on finding the value of the property, looking up property's debts, looking at the construction aspect of it. They got plenty of contractors already that they have to work with because they don't know what renovation budgets are. And if they're trying to resell a house or say that they're purchasing it, they have to have some hint of what that budget costs. Otherwise, they ain't gonna be able to resell it, or they're gonna get stuck with it and they're gonna be negative on the project because their budget for the renovation is way too high. And they don't have an equity invoice contract with a contractor to get it done without any cash out of their pocket. So equity invoice contracts solves all that for them. It allows them to connect the contractor and a homeowner, get the renovations done, and let them deal with selling the property, and I still get my equity percentage. My dealing is done as soon as I have that signed contract. It's not a commission contract where commission is still based on if my contract is still binding at the time of the sale. I've had properties where I've gone through 4 agents. The first 3 commission contracts don't hold up because you can exit them. An equity invoice contract you cannot exit. As soon as it is signed, it is recorded with the deed, the public record, so that it has title to that deed, meaning that it has rights to that deed's equity. So the next time it gets sold, a title company is going to search through the title search and they're going to find, hey, this so-and-so person with this so-and-so wholesaler, this contractor, wholesaler, and homeowner have this equity agreement. This wholesaler wealth trading master license needs to get paid this percentage. And I leave that percentage blank. I do highly recommend wholesalers start standardizing their percentages on this. If they want to take the risk when they purchase the property, all to them. For equity invoice contracts, no. We're going to standardize your value too. Right now, currently for construction, renovation, HELOC, home equity agreement financing, it's a 2 to 6% charge. So, a homeowner should not be getting charged more than 2 to 6% for the amounts that's getting renovated, not the house's value. Again, 2 to 6% on the renovation equity invoice contracts monetary value, not the property's value. The equity percentage takes care of that. When you're putting that equity percentage in, make sure it's just 2 to 6% of the monetary value of the renovation work. That is your value. It's the value that you're providing as a loan officer. Again, you're not a loan officer, and you do not need to be a loan officer. This is not a loan, and you're not representing a party. You're connecting 2 parties together, just how wholesalers do, just how agents do, but agents do it under a service and a commission contract. This is an equity contract. So looking at the wholesalers' problems of having homeowners that don't want to sell their property to someone else to make the money on their asset, we use equity invoice contracts for wholesalers to serve those homeowners while still reaping a value and benefit for themselves. Providing information packets to wholesalers to inform them about equity invoice contracts that they can use, and giving wholesalers the information packets and tools to let contractors and homeowners know about equity invoice contracts and how they work benefits this community and this industry for the game to start getting played at mass scale. So in the next lesson, we're going to look at what end client, do equity invoice contracts really help, and how to target them, which will be the homeowner / investor, the person who has to sign away their equity. They're the end client, the end authority to say yes or no to use an equity invoice contract or not. We'll target the specific homeowners that have the capabilities and qualifications to use equity invoice contracts and that need to use equity invoice contracts. Otherwise, they're going to get hit with their current solutions of HELOCs, home equity agreements, hard money / private money construction financing, or selling their whole property without getting the renovations done for the max dollar that they can get out of their asset and their wealth. So stay tuned, stay focused. See you over there.